Hello. Hopefully the stream is started. We'll see. Sometimes streams can be a little weird, but that's just a second. That's what I forgot. Oh well. Um. You guys won't care too much about the latency, I hope. Anyways, the plan for the stream is going to be to use the last few... Wow, okay, we have bad FPS. Hello! Yeah, but the plan for this stream is going to be to use our final few boss gums that we have. I have a few basic, a few ghostly, and like one glitchy boss gum. Let's go ahead and go ahead and use those on the event to hopefully get the last few keys that I need for getting a mythical from the event. I was planning on getting a snail that costs 350 keys, but since I've only got 176 keys so far, and it is basically the end of the event, I think I'll only be able to get a magnificent P key from this event. There was one thing that I just remembered I need to do, and that is going to be to go to the back door and convert a few more of my items from the back door into glitchy gum, just in case. Hello, besties. I don't really remember you, but I kind of remember the name / profile picture a little bit. Nothing too significant though. Hello, Ice Chair. But yeah, right before we start into the Easter event, we will head over to the back door and check on converting some few more items that I got recently, and then we can head over to the Easter event. Yeah, the end of the event is most likely going to be tomorrow. That's going to be roughly like 15 hours, or 15, a little bit more than like 17 hours from now. So tomorrow though. So we are getting quite near the end. It looks like we didn't get any more glitchy boss gum, which is unfortunate since that's all we really wanted from the event. But that was one thing I remembered I needed to go check quickly before we headed over to the event itself. Yeah, there's a lot of people that I know that haven't really been playing the event so much. So, and the event feels like it ended way too quickly, but it also felt like it lasted way too long, in my opinion, still. But yeah. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, we have a new camera setup. So, I don't know if that's better or worse. It should hopefully be a little bit more higher quality. But, you know, feedback on that would be cool. It's also in a little bit of a different position, so it's a little bit more awkward, I guess, in some respects. Since you guys kind of get to see the side more often than not, because my computers are like here, and then my camera is over here, so. But yeah, we are going to go head over to the Easter event and then start getting a few of those precious keys. The plan is to get 250 and get exactly one magnificent P key, I think is what it's called. Basically a peacock chariot. Yeah, the camera is better than normal. Oh yeah, I'm using my phone as a camera, so I figured that'd be an improvement. Good to see that it's at least noticeable. There aren't any like weird swirly things. I noticed that in one of my previous streams that there's some weird swirly things on my background, which was interesting. Yeah, don't worry too much. It should only take you about an hour and a half or something to do all the quests, so it won't take you too long. But yeah, you do need to get those before they're gone. There are 4 of them, I think. 2 over here in the area, Ella and Bo, and then there's 1 in Backdoor and 1 in Ghost World. Shouldn't be too hard to find. It's like 20 to 30 minutes per quest. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. I have a Samsung. That's kind of like what I do. It's phones are weird. But yeah, looks like we will need to wait a little bit for people to get out of the current fight, but that's more than fine with me. I guess while we wait, I might as well go, since we do get a pop-up, go on... Roblox physics? Please, thanks? Okay, alright, whatever. Looks like we are walking there. But we might as well go unbox a few things, since I do need to get, like, the Godly from, like, both the board crates and the more expensive pet crate, I think. So might as well go use, like, a glitchy Lucky Gum, since we have, like, 1 billion of those at this point, and go ahead and try for at least one of these boards while we wait. Since we do need to wait a little bit of time. Oh, okay, never mind. We already got the cheaper board, so it looks like we just need this more expensive board and crate, and then also the pets. I'm here more earlier than I usually am. Yeah, it's a different time stream than I think I usually do. Actually, no, it's pretty similar, I guess. But yeah, we'll hopefully get, like, we'll get these Godlies too before the stream ends. We will be getting quite a few eggs from the event, so shouldn't too much of an issue, I'd hope. But sometimes RNG can just be whack. Like, you've noticed I've gotten a lot of the legendaries. I've even deleted like 5 or 6 of these legendaries. I still don't have the Godly, even though it's like only 4 times rarer. But yeah. Okay, whatever. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and basically we'll just have to, I guess, wait for that to start. I guess while we wait, there isn't really too much that we can do while we wait. I really like the Godly in that crate. Yeah, the Godlies from any of these events are usually very cool looking. Alright, I realized I had enough keys for that one. Like, I think all these Godlies are pretty cool. Oh, I actually already have this Godly pet, so I think all we need is the cheaper pet and the more expensive board, Godly-wise, which is pretty good since I'm kind of giving those Godlies. The eggs are actually a little bit more difficult to get than I'd expect. Was not looking forward to actually getting them since eggs are kind of rare. And I was also planning on using some of the eggs for some gum, so I have 1 or 2 more glitchy or ghostly boss gums so I can actually finish up this event. It looks like the event is here though, so we'll go ahead and hop in the circle. Hopefully they didn't lose on the melon. Yeah, there's a lot of melon. It's a weird looking pet. But yeah, hopefully they didn't lose on the last one. Otherwise, we'll just kind of get instantly kicked out of this event, which is kind of a waste of a minute sitting in a circle. But you know, you can't really expect people to be perfect and actually defeat it every time. But you know, we'll see. All right, it looks like they did lose on the last time, so it will like kind of just instant abort, which kind of annoying. Can I do a giveaway? I do giveaways every once in a while on like my Discord, but I probably won't. I don't know. I haven't really done any, or not really plan on doing any soon, I guess. Also, definitely not going to be doing any during this stream or anything like that. So, yeah. Alright, looks like we didn't auto-abort this thing, so we do have now a chance to go through. The plan is to vacuum as many of these as possible, since we do get eggs from each of them, which really we do still need quite a bit of. And then also to use a boss gum at the end, since we do need those, like, a lot. We currently have 176, I think, and we need to get up to 250 at least. Or 162. Wow. Okay. We need a lot of keys, basically. But yeah, it's going to be quite laggy. Hopefully the person with us can do a little bit of work, but we should still be able to defeat this wave pretty solidly. since it isn't going to be too difficult. There we go. Those should be the last two ghosts, other than this one, it looks like. And yeah, we're on to wave 3. Looks like this will not be too bad. The plan is we're going to have to do this about 20 times, I think, for me to get the keys I need. So this might be a little bit on the longer side, depending on how these get. Probably once we get through this one, I'm going to have to turn on some music, since the music for this fight doesn't work multiple events in a row. Whoa. Or multiple fights in a row, I should say. And Roblox physics is just being weird. Things are being laggy. Pretty traditional for a stream. I have, like, I don't know. It's weird. I've never really had this problem with the hoverboard just being weird physically. Like, it's just kind of zooming wherever it wants to go. But yeah. I think even with the lag though, we still are doing pretty fine on the boss, or on this event at least. At least this fight. Yeah, it's going to be all about getting the, whoa. We need to get out of here. Otherwise we'll get like 1 billion damage. Yeah, I don't know what it is about Roblox being super laggy. Do I like accidentally have my I could accidentally have like my, whoa. Let's see, do I no, I don't even have like my graphics quality all the way up. I know occasionally I've had really bad lag because I accidentally didn't turn down like my graphics quality. But like it's where it's normally at, so maybe having the different webcam setup might be causing a little bit more lag. I don't know. I also turned down the stream quality down to 20 FPS instead of a 30 FPS. So I would think that would help, but apparently nope. But it looks like we will be fine, other than the fact that I just accidentally used a glitchy loop gum, which means we're going to have to like sandbag a little bit on this wave, since waves do not last 2 minutes. We're actually getting a lot of damage now that I notice. Just says like, usually you outspeed these orbs, but when you're lagging a lot, these orbs catch up to you and they actually start doing damage. Because like, usually you can just kind of walk around and ignore them, but like, apparently you can't when you're lagging this much, so. Yikes. Alright, so the big goal right now is going to be to make sure that none of these things that are targeting the egg get there, but the stuff targeting us are fine, because, yeah. I guess we'll have to do some of them without the boss gum anyways, so should just go ahead and clean up these last few and call it a day. But yeah. Yeah, this is weird getting this much lag. Trying to think how I can help speed up the stream. Can't really imagine there's anything. Unless, let me check my task manager. Make sure there isn't anything using an obscene amount of like resources. Alright. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. After, like, the first time you do a fight in a server, the music doesn't start for the next one, which is kind of annoying, but I guess that means we'll have to pull out the old playlist of random music I've downloaded to use in YouTube videos from the YouTube's, like, audio library. Just a second. I'm thinking if I like prop my computer up, it might help like ventilate a little bit more, which will help it cool down, which may in turn help it do better. But you know, I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. Use this, I guess. Also, I need to go pull out some music, I guess. This is one of the things I need to do. Alright. Probably between this round and the next one, or wave, I guess, I'll need to go pull up that, since right now it's a little bit boring if I don't talk, since all you guys hear is the sound of ghosts firing at me and me hoverboarding around, really. Anyways, how have you guys been working on this Easter event? Since I know I've been kind of really lazy when it came to this Easter event, even though I kind of like the uniqueness of it, it really hasn't been like something I've cared too much about actually working on. So yeah, it's been interesting. Let's see. Come over here. Let's see. I just haven't. Yeah, this Easter event is weird. I know a lot of people were looking forward to this Easter event, but like also not many people have been really playing Ghost Simulator recently, so it's not really a surprise to me that not many people played the Easter event. I feel like it may have been like overhyped and then like let down because it was something so unique that not many people are really thinking about. But yeah. All right. Alright, there we go. Now we have some music. Hopefully that's around the right audio level. Looks like it should be pretty good. But yeah. Alright. I actually love... All the eggs are gone. Yeah, I'm not doing the best at defense right now. A little bit of it is lag, a little bit of it is me getting distracted with stream stuff like setting up music, since the audio for some reason never wants to work in the events. It's just a minor bug that didn't get fixed, but you know. Alright, that should be, there we go. But yeah, we are down to 1 egg, which isn't actually too much of a problem, since you need to go through all the eggs and this, which basically will never happen if you're playing even halfway decently. Like, it looks like someone else here also has multiple streams and is going to be pretty helpful, so we won't have any problem. We may not even end up losing this one if we play it right. Yeah, we probably won't even lose this egg. Since this is like kind of the last spawn of this thing, unless we like lag really badly, we should be fine like getting all these ghosts before that egg even gets grabbed. Which reminds me that we should go ahead and use a Boscum. And lag out of our mines, but that's not a problem since we do still get the keys. All I really care about at this moment are the keys. Why are the ghosts killing the eggs? I don't know. I really didn't read the lore of this event, so I don't really know the reason why the ghosts don't like eggs. But whatever. Can I offer for one of your corrupted boards? Honestly, if you find me in game, like when I'm not streaming, you can probably just have a corrupted board for free. I think anything from the developer crates other than the classifieds are pretty much worthless, and so can be basically given out for free. And I usually do end up just giving out random stuff for free if people ask. Let's see, was there something I needed to do between rounds? Oh yeah, I need to re-equip my loot gum, since for some reason whenever you use the last of any gum, like I used the last of my glitchy boss gum, it unequipped my glitchy loot gum for my hotbar, which is kind of annoying. But whatever, re-equip that and scroll back up to where our boss gums are. Next up we will be using our ghostly boss gums, and then after that we will be using our basic boss gums. I think with this amount of keys, or amount of boss gum, we will get up to somewhere around like 232 or something Easter keys, so pretty close to how much we need, but we'll need to do a little bit more than this, which is kind of where eggs will probably come into effect, since they'll allow us to potentially get like another 1 or 2 ghostly boss gum, which can in turn help us quite a bit. What's going on? Yeah, like this is what I'm talking about. Is lag in Ghost Simulator, if you're laggy, you like get a huge nerf to your like being able to do anything in Ghost Simulator. It's really annoying. Like if you're lagging, you like get like a billion more damage for some reason. Like without lag, you can just kind of walk away and basically dodge all corruption. But if you lag for like even like a second or something, all of those orbs instantly catch up to you and you take like 10% damage in a second, whereas you would have taken like 0 if you weren't lagging. Which is really why I think the developers need to work a little bit on their lag. I don't know if it's like a Roblox-based problem, where it's just kind of how Roblox games work. They have this much lag. It feels like it's something more that the developers need to like optimize or fix a bug or something. But I don't know for sure. I can't say for certain it is something developers can fix. But it feels like something that really needs to be addressed at some point, since it is quite annoying to just get random lag spikes just because it requires so much resources or not. But yeah. Honestly, it isn't actually too hard to get good pets if you want them by yourself in Ghost Simulator. It takes like 2 or 3 hours for like a team of pretty good stat pets, I think. Which, I mean, if you're maxed, you do still need to kind of play the game up until you're maxed, like right before a rebirth, to be able to get like good pets. But like still, it isn't actually too difficult get good pets if you're playing the game itself. I think the problem is more of how long the game itself is. Like it takes like probably will take people like 30 to 40 hours for the first rebirth in the game, which is a pretty long time, I think. And most of that is spent getting through Backdoor itself. Although like 10 or 20 hours is also spent on Main Hub, and another 10 or 20 hours is spent on Ghost World, I guess. But like, It's the game is long itself, but like progression in the game isn't actually too bad, time-wise. It's weird. It's kind of what my ongoing series on going to be on giving guides for Ghost Simulator is going to be for, helping people like progress through the game as quick as possible, which will hopefully shorten the amount of time people need to take to get into the game itself. But like the main problem with those is that not many people are going to be able to find them, and those that find them are usually already know how to play the game. So it's not like the videos themselves are going to be super helpful to people who don't know how to play a game. What's the biggest mistake I have made in Ghost Simulator? Biggest mistake? Actually, I don't think I have really made any big mistakes. Okay, did I just hear an egg break when there were no ghosts around? Biggest mistake. I know, like, trading-wise, I don't really particularly care about anything I've done trading-wise. Like, I know I've traded, like, hollows away for basically nothing. I've, traded alphas away for also basically nothing. But honestly, trading Ghost Simulator, I don't care about anymore, so it's not really a mistake for me. I think... I think what it comes down to is not, like, not playing the game early or anything. Oh, we forgot a glitchy boss gum. Oh, whatever. I think we'll need to do a few without anyways, so not too big of a deal, to be honest. But yeah, biggest mistake I would say would have been probably not playing more during like the Halloween event. Because I kind of wanted a Darkwing. I was kind of close to a Darkwing-ish. But even that's not too big of a deal. Deleting, like, random stuff that's old was also kind of bad. But, yeah. Honestly, I don't really have too many regrets when it comes to Ghost Simulator. It's anything usually is, like, pets or boards that are tradable and stuff, and trading economy is kind of meh at this point, so it doesn't really matter. I wish the game was more alive, but, you know, that's not really something I can fix super easily. Alright, hopefully we remember to use a boss gum this time, since, you know, if we do like 20 without glitchy boss gum, or any boss gum, we are going to be in like a world of hurt, since it's like, it's a lot of keys that we could have got that we just kind of nothing comes out of them. Anyways, looks like we should be able to do pretty good on this. It looks like there was a lot of other people that probably are going to be decent at the game. Honestly, I think a big thing is, if you guys actually do ever think about trading, is to not trade, like, anything, really, like, I know saying don't trade anything is kind of bad, and it's like, oh, trading is kind of fun, but, like, if you don't know how values work, or what values of an item are, you're just going to end up losing. There's, like, no way around it, because if someone's offering you a trade, they think they are going to win that trade. Even if like in general people might not be like trading for value or something, they might be trading for their own personal preference. But like in general, if you're getting offered something, the person offering you it thinks that they are getting the better deal out of it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trading. And sometimes better deal may just mean that they really want the item you have. In which case, you may actually be getting a dub in your opinion, like a win. More value, but like most of the time it's they know what values are, you don't, you end up losing something that's worth like a ridiculous amount. But yeah, Let's see. Wave 3, we have 14 seconds left on our glitchy loot gum. We should be in pretty good shape to remember to use a glitchy boss gum on the last wave. Assuming I don't forget. But yeah, one of the big things I like about the Easter events is, or I think one of the big things why this Easter event isn't as popular as like older Easter events is the fact that it isn't like part of a Roblox event. And also like really wasn't, really tried out something new that people weren't too much a fan of. I kind of like new stuff since it means that the developers are like trying new stuff and that they actually care about like updating the game. But you know, I realize not everyone is a fan of this new event type. All right, there we go. That should be all those ghosts. So sometimes the ghosts just stack up too much. I kind of wish, like I was thinking about this earlier today, that if you already are vacuuming ghost, it would actually like when you click on like that ghost again, it kind of just x-rays through and it clicks any ghost like behind them or anything. Because like sometimes ghosts group up or a ghost is in the way of another ghost. And you either have to like move around, wait till it's vacuumed or something before you can click the ghost behind it, which can get really annoying. And so if you, I don't know how like good an X-ray is possible, but like it'd be kind of cool to be able to just kind of spam click on a group of ghosts and actually like vacuum different ones instead of having to like click on different parts or whatnot. When this loot gum goes down, I will need to go use a ghostly boss gum or something. But yeah, shouldn't be too hard to remember since we will have about like 15 or 30 seconds to do so before the next wave ends. Yeah, I am in a public server, so people are going to be able to join me. Just realized that this... Alright, there we go. I think you guys have probably gotten bored of that music, so let's go shuffle. Because I forgot to shuffle the music. I just kind of was playing one thing, wasn't I? Alright. Let's go ahead, use a ghostly boss gum, and then also use an overcharge over here because it's a lot of ghosts that need to get rid of. There we go. Yeah, this event is interesting. I don't know if I'm a fan of it. I think a big part of it for me is like the lack of consistency in it, rather than like any of the rather than like anything concrete. For instance, like some of the ghosts get one shot by an overcharge, some don't. It's just general stuff like that. Hello, Shiloh. Oh, you're in my server, aren't you? Hello, Sandy. Hello, Cozy Trumps. Yeah. Oh, I should turn off my music. There we go. No, I'm not very good at memorizing stuff. Like, even names are out the window, like, a few seconds after I hear them. Like, anything more than, like, you know, a few digits or numbers that I need to remember is not going to happen. Alright. Got those. I'll grab these. Let's see. Alright. They're doing more work than I am on this. I'll grab that one and this one. Yeah, it's nice to see people come back to like each and every stream I do. It's interesting. I don't like fully understand it, but yeah. Probably going to be like 5 over here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, it's kind of interesting to try to figure out what to say. Honestly, it's kind of amazing for me, like, how good, alright, we're gonna need to turn down the music volume, aren't we? There we go. It's kind of amazing to me, like, how low-key good, some of the game passes are that you wouldn't think are really that good. Like, double agility, or more agility, and, like, double range, they don't really sound super good. Like, I know a lot of people are like, even I was like skeptical on whether more agility was helpful, since you already have like jetpack and hoverboard. You're like, being able to move faster doesn't really help too much. But like, it's just kind of, it's one of those things where it just is helpful like everywhere. And like, same with double range. You're like, oh, you can just move closer to a ghost. Why would you need to have like double range? But like, once you try double range, you realize just how good it can be, and like even just normal use, it's really good. So yeah, it's interesting to me how good those game passes are, despite how even I was like kind of skeptical about them being good or not. All right, they're using vacuum gum, which is almost definitely the better gum to be using, since it speeds up how fast you do these waves. But I need eggs, so we use glute gum when we can. There we go, and grab this one. That was a waste. Oh boy, that's a lot of ghosts along this side. And there we go. That was weird. It had a little bit of delay. But yeah, we do need to do quite a few of these, so we'll just open your chat. There's a reason chat gets closed sometimes. Oh yeah, Pidge. Purple dude. What do you think the next update will be? Devs have already said some things. They said anniversary event. They've also said something about some random questions. So I'm assuming like anniversary event. They've also, I think they've said something about Remnant World too coming soon. So something somewhere between an anniversary event most likely will be what comes next, which I'm not really looking forward to. I think there's been way too many events in a row already. But yeah, I think likely we'll have an anniversary event for 3 years of Ghost Simulator, which is kind of weird since we already had like the 100th update event. So having those two different events will be kind of weird to have them this close together. But that's how it's going to be. So that's the most likely thing. They may also open the Remnant World. I feel like that might be a week or two away, or an update or two away. But yeah, the next update, for anyone wondering, is going to be this Friday. So tomorrow there will be an update to Ghost Simulator. So if you guys haven't already finished this Easter event, it's literally your last chance to go ahead and grab whatever you need for this Easter event. no more delaying. It's now or never, really, for this Easter event. And honestly, some of the stuff from this event is going to be ridiculously valuable just because no one really wants to play this event. It was kind of one of those events that not many people ended up actually participating in just because of like how like different it was and long and stuff. So like even like legendaries and godlies from the event may be actually worth quite a bit. Which is only really if you actually care about the economy, which I don't think many people really do. But yeah. I should be using overcharge more, but sometimes I just can't be bothered to. We'll grab these two. We'll overcharge over here, it looks like. Oh, that's a lot of ghosts. That's going to be a problem. Yeah, right now I have Chrome. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad how many tabs I have open at the moment. I think it is kind of just Roblox being bad. It's not even that bad, but yeah, it's kind of laggy. Alright, we have an overcharge in about 8 seconds, so we should be able to do it after this next site. Is there a value list for Ghost Simulator? No. Honestly, there isn't really enough stuff in the game right now for a solid value list. Honestly, my best strategy for people looking to trade, like my first advice would be just don't trade, since trading is kind of whack. But like if you are looking to trade, the best way to really do it is ask in the Discord. It's kind of bad, honestly. But one of the big things that really is that limiteds are valuable quite a bit, and anything that you can really get in the game isn't valuable. Like just anything, even if it looks good, like corrupteds. I know a lot of people are like, oh, corrupteds look cool. All corrupteds are basically useless, or worthless, I guess, in terms of trading. So it's not really something where stuff are like really good that you can actually get. But yeah, what would you say a good offer for Sunny would be? Honestly, for Sunny, man, the problem is once you get like below, like in classifieds below like Prism, there's really no good way to offer for any of those classifieds just because they're harder to get than they're worth. So you kind of have this thing where people who have them, they're like, oh, I don't want to trade this because it's not worth that much, but I like it. Honestly, classifieds, if you have like classifieds, like a classified board or two, might be able to get it like Space Shuttle, might be able to get it just on its own, or anything above that might be able to get it pretty easily. You could also do like an Oblivion and a Sky Surfer wouldn't be a bad offer for it. You could do like 2 or 3 corrupteds if they don't have stats, or 2 to 3 mythical Ghostly Vision or Rebirth mythicals like Ghostly Vision, Mini Anonymous, or stuff like that. That's just like valuable because it has stats. If they don't have stats, you can do that. But usually people with Sunny do have stats, so yeah, might be a little bit struggle. No, Sunny is probably one of something that you're better off just trying to get yourself, since like the gems that you need for it isn't too difficult to really get. Like it takes, I think it takes less than 100 million for sure gems to actually get one, which takes me like an hour or so to get 100 million gems. But like even for new players, it shouldn't take any more than like 5 or 6 hours to get 100 million gems. So doing that way to get gems to get a Sunny wouldn't be too bad. The problem is how much time you have to spend unboxing, honestly. Yeah, I think the closest really thing, the closest thing to like a solid trading advice that really is out there is that limited store items, like all of these stuff that end up coming in this limited store, they're all worth a significant amount, and they're all worth pretty similar amounts, unless they have like a more hype for some reason than others. But yeah, generally these are like your basis for value, and they're worth a lot. And then basically anything in game is not worth much unless you have it for stats. I think the big, it has the makings of a good economy. I think the problem is there aren't as many players, since it is harder to get into than those games. Since BGS and like those, you just kind of spam open for stuff and you can get some random thing that can be traded somewhere, which I'm not really a fan of, but it's just that like the difference in player rates is kind of what makes it bad, because with lower players, people hoard more because there's really no reason to trade stuff, because like other people don't really have as many of it. In like a big economy like MM2, for example, is one of the ones I used to play quite a bit. There's a lot of players and a lot of items, mainly because of duping. But because there are a lot of items, like trading something for something else, that can gain you profit, like pretty easily. Whereas keeping something, you're like, oh, there's like a million more of these. Someone else will trade it if this person doesn't want to. But like in Ghost Simulator, if someone isn't trading an egg drop, there's just no way to find another egg drop. Just because there's no real reason for someone with like 16 egg drops to trade an egg drop, because no one else is trading it. So if I don't trade it, they're going to have to offer more. And if I still don't trade it, it's just going up in value. Which, yeah. It's just kind of the small economy is really why it doesn't have a huge thing. Honestly, the fact that limiteds are so like valuable is mainly because the limiteds are so valuable at this point. Like people are just told not to trade it because it isn't valuable. If people are like trading it and the value is down a lot and just they're getting traded everywhere, the economy would be better, even though like the values are less rare. So rarer stuff usually means worse in terms of economy. I think one of the things about Ghost Simulator, like compared to like other games with trading that's like very easy to compare to because they're all simulators, is the fact that Ghost Simulator really is more about the gameplay itself and like lore. Big on the lore. It's a lot more lore heavy than other things, which not my thing. But gameplay itself it's a lot more reliant on the gameplay and people grinding for stuff than other games really are. Like which, I mean, its grind right now is kind of in a bad place in my opinion. But like the fact that it cares more about the grind than anything else means that like some things kind of just get overlooked. For instance, like the economy is kind of bad since people don't really play grinding, care about the economy very much. But another thing is like stats are kind of, at this point, stats are a joke in my opinion. Like code pets are basically people's best source for stats, and they actually have ridiculous stats, which means anyone that's looking for like stats from like a obtainable in game kind of just you can't get any good stats obtainable in game like with less than like a 40 or 50 hours worth of game completion before you can get like ghostly vision stat pets or lucky cats. Like, that's like the minimum stat-wise for upgraded. And then after that, you basically have Cosmic Wings, which I guess you can do Divines if you're willing to put in like a 10-hour rebirth for a single pet. But like Cosmic Wings are probably better in my opinion. But still, it's the upgrades for stat progression is just ridiculously weird. So yeah, it doesn't really have a lot of the comparable stuff that you would think when you compare it to like games that you commonly compare it to, like Bubblegum Simulator or other simulator games with trading and similar kind of things. We're up to 198 keys. We have 9 more boss gums that we need to use, and then we either need to get like 1 or 2 more boss gums, or just do a few without, which we'll probably just do a few without. Game would also be a little bit better if it wasn't super laggy. Like, you notice me streaming, I'm usually getting like, I can drop down to 1 or 2 FPS at times. So that's not ideal, especially since I have a decent PC. I think elevating my PC definitely did help a little bit with that lag. But like with it being super laggy, it definitely deters people from playing for long times like you'd want them to. But yeah, I need about 50 more boss Easter keys, and then we can get a Peaky's carriage. But yeah, those snails, I really like the random stuff that was included in this event. Like the peacocks, the snails, I really liked how it was just this random stuff that you would never really expect from a game. Just came in into this update, and it's like, oh, I love that. I know some people aren't a fan of this random event stuff, but I really like just having random stuff chucked into events, just because it's kind of cool in my opinion. But yeah, there's going to be like a grouping of ghosts probably over there. Okay. There we go. Hello, Audibaz. Welcome to the stream. It's more of a chill stream, just planning on getting some keys and mythical from the event, just to finish it off. Otherwise, I'd end up with like 100 or so keys that I can't use, which would not really be ideal, since keys are much better used than forever doing nothing with. Let's see. Alright, we'll grab those, go back, grab this one. Alright. Yeah, I think the lag is a big discourager of people, in my opinion. I realize like the game also has some other problems other than just lag, but like I think lag is a big one. Not being able to like play the game consistently, it's kind of annoying. Alright. I think if someone were to create a value list for a Ghost Simulator, that would probably hurt the economy more, to be honest. Is one of the big things that I'm not a fan of value lists, is because people just kind of take it as like truth, even though like value lists are usually, values can vary from person to person just because they think something might be worth more in the long run or stuff like that. And I think having like a value list kind of like it solidifies values. And if everyone knows that there's a value list and trusts that value list, no one would make a trade, because you aren't going to make a trade that hurts you, and if one person, and you're only going to make a trade if it like benefits you. So if you're just solid using that value list and everyone's using it, you can't trade with anyone else using that value list. Because if you're winning in a trade, they're losing. And even like equal trades. Equal trades usually, if you're making a trade and it's equal, you usually don't think it's equal. Is how I see it. Usually you think you are gaining something, even if like, for instance, the values say they're equal. You usually like, okay, this will go up in value more or other stuff, which means that the other thing, that thing is still worth more. Like for instance, people saying like value and demand are different from value. They're part of value. So if you're saying, oh, this thing's worth this much, but it has more demand than this, that just means that thing is worth more. Not that like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of how value lists work, I guess, is a big thing, is what I'm trying to say. It's painful watching people talk about values and just like being like, oh, but they're worth the same amount. And it's like obvious because, or like saying something's worth the same amount but something else has more demand. It's like, it's not how values work. If you aren't going to trade it for it, that thing has more value. No, I'm getting a little bit on the, I played trading for MM2 for like a year or so. The amount of insane stuff that happens on MM2 is, value lists are good for starter players, but like, it's not always great for the economy. It's good for informing people of like trading value to make sure people don't like trade the thing worth like a bit, like worth an infinite amount for garbage, which happens more than you'd think on Ghost Simulator. Like for some reason people like to shark and scam and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks like we have a lot more people being helpful, so now we don't need to do as much, which is good and bad. Because that means I'm not accidentally losing to like lag every once in a while. Bad because that means I get less eggs, because you know, I think we should have enough eggs at this point for at least getting the godly board, which is kind of all I really want. I think the pet can happen itself. Chicken noodle or no? I'm a fan of easy to make foods, so chicken noodle would definitely go on my list of foods that I'd eat. Alright, let's just do that. Yeah, I think trading, the problem is to get into trading on Ghost Simulator, there's a lot of prerequisites for trading. You need to have stuff of value for one. You need to have stuff that people want, which on Ghost Simulator, it's basically impossible to get anything of any value in the game. Like, you need to You either need to spend Robux for stuff from like the limited store, or you need to already have stuff, which is hard, or you need to shark someone, which not really a good idea. But yeah, no, getting like the problem is like anything you can get in game easily is worth nothing. Like even okay, let me put for example. Let's see. My inventory. These pets, which are usually like better than any pets that people can usually get in the game, they're pretty much worthless when it comes to value. So, and they take like 60, 70 hours for a new player to get their first one. So yeah, that's not good. That's not great. These things which have better stats are worth even less, although they are a little bit easier to get. But yeah, that's the problem with like trading, like having this game based on trading. There's not really anything to trade that people can actually get. Like most of what gets traded in this game and is like worth stuff is going to be limiteds, which you don't see these. They just like, they don't exist. We'll be pushing it on getting our Boscom out, but honestly, people have tried to make value lists in the past. I always kind of make fun of them. Usually for legitimate reasons, sometimes just because values are more of just because I don't like value lists than anything. But yeah, I don't think a value list would be helpful for the game. I think the game needs to fix a few problems before it can be made popular. I don't think trading would bring in the people that really care. It might bring in old players. Yes, having a value list could definitely bring in old players that have good stuff, and now that they know how to trade them, that'd be useful. But like, you have to fix some of the economy problems first, which isn't possible. You can't really fix economy problems. But yeah, it's a bit more complicated to just make a value list. Problem is, there's way too much stuff at this point in the game. I think there's like 800 or so pets, which most of those aren't going to be worth a whole lot. But you're going to have to include most of those anyways, just because people will still ask. Like, people will ask how valuable is mini final, or okay, mini final would probably be on a value list. But people are going to be asking like, how valuable is an atom? And it's worthless, so there's really no reason to include it on the list, but you'd have to include it regardless. Same with something like 8-bit. 8-bit, why do I have an 8-bit? 8-bit's worthless. You can get one everywhere worth for 5 minutes of work. It's bad. Same thing for like mini gas and these things. They're pretty much worthless, but people will ask about how they're worth anything. Or alternatively, you can make them worth something, and then like rare stuff is going to have to be worth like 1,000 of them or maybe even more, and it just gets into the ridiculous territory. Just because there aren't many players, you have to like values just start creeping up super fast. It's something. Did I play MMORPG? I don't really play massively multiplayer. I don't even know what that stands for. I don't usually play too many games like that. I'm usually stick to single player games or games that I can play by myself without worrying about talking with other players, to be honest. I prefer just doing stuff myself. But yeah, I know what you mean. Having like a easy to reference trading guide can be quite helpful for new players. I know I really liked trading value lists like a long time ago, before I realized having my own values was much more helpful for learning, for doing trades, because I can trade for what I think is good, and based off of like stuff that I know will go up, and doing that base really made so much more sense to me. But yeah, having a value list can be helpful for new players. It's just one of those things where new players don't have anything to trade really. So even if like there is a value list, they look on it and nothing they have will be on there for basically ever. But you know, I think stats though is also. I wish stats were a little bit better. I don't know what they could do about it, but like stats would have been, if players could actually like progress in stats, like they didn't start off with overpowered stats from codes, and like good stat pets weren't impossible to get, because currently you can't get a Godly. New players cannot get Godlies, and old players get infinite Godlies. Like I can get basically infinite of any Godly I want, just because it is so cheap. But yeah, and that kind of discrepancy is kind of weird, but it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, it's weird how that works, where like some things where it's not really any progression in the game. Like all you really have is the lore, and not many people play games for lore. I know I don't play for lore, and most likely most of the other endgame players don't particularly care about the lore. They kind of just play because they have good stuff and they can get good stuff. Alright, yeah, I think this new camera is working a little bit better than it before. I don't know if that's because I turned down my FPS down. I accidentally used a glitchy loot gun. I don't know if that's because I turned the FPS of the OBS down to like 20, or so I lowered it a little bit, or if just having a better camera is just because it's a better camera. But the stream's working a little bit better. Alright, whatever. Not too big of a deal. There we go. Yeah, the better camera is cool. I think the coolest thing about Ghost Simulator currently, and I think it's understated like a lot, is how good Gum is. I know I say it a lot, but like it's hard for new players to understand how to use Gum, how to get Gum, yada yada yada. And I think Gum is probably the most useful thing in Ghost Simulator, and the fact that new players don't actually use it is kind of annoying. I am using Ghostly, Ghost Surfer. It's a limited board. It's like I think it was like a year ago or something. But yeah. Can I talk a little bit about rebirths? Maybe it will help the new players. What about rebirths? Before rebirthing, you need to get good pets and like, or decent pets at least, in like Gum. Yeah, no, Gum is super useful. Before you getting maxed out in the game takes a little bit of time. But like after that, a lot of people like instantly rebirth. I've seen so many people like instantly rebirth once they get maxed out, because that's how you do it in every other simulator. You kind of just instantly rebirth. But there are things that like your pets and your hoverboards and your Gums all save. So if you like before rebirthing, if you go ahead and collect like a bunch of glitchy loot gum, you can actually rebirth quite a bit faster. It looks like, yeah, I really like how it looks. It is kind of a reskin of the YouTube board. I've never had the YouTube board. I kind of joined after that thing was discontinued, which I'm fine with. I wouldn't really have cared one way or another. But the fact that this purple board exists that looks like the YouTube board was kind of just, oh, I need to get that Ghost Surfer. So yeah, it's kind of cool. I also like Blizz's mottos, like usually the two boards I'm using. Both of them are purple. And one of them is dragon, because, you know, purple dragon. Where are these ghosts? Oh, there they are. Alright, I need to go this way. I do have a video about rebirthing, but, like, one of the big things is, like, new players, it's hard, like, a lot of players ask what rebirth to do. Not many people realize that you need to do stuff before rebirthing, like grinding gum. I have a video on grinding gum, but basically you need to go grab some perks. Like, Shelly isn't necessary, but you need to go grab, like, the overcharge perk from Rowan. You need to go grab the jetpack perk from Riley. You need to get some good pets, which you can actually get some lucky cats before rebirthing, which are probably the best pets. But you can also just stick with, like, Adam and the code pets, and you should be fine stat-wise to grind gum. And basically just grind the last 4 areas a lot. Like, the last 4 areas of backdoor, they give you, like, 2 to 3 items, base, more if you use glitchy loot gum, which most people do, since grinding glitchy loot gum with glitchy loot gum is actually beneficial. But yeah. No, and then basically you start in one area, you grab as many ghosts as you can in a minute, go back to that first area, and do another minute cycle. So you do like 2 1-minute cycles. This allows you to overcharge twice, and use basically fill up your heroes pack, or use your whole heroes pack, and your whole loot gum at the same time. It allows ghosts to respawn from areas, since it takes about a minute for ghosts to respawn. Which I don't think many people actually realize that ghosts respawn in a fixed amount of time. It's like a minute. It's a minute per ghost or something like that. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah, there's like you basically just, you have a certain set time and ghosts will respawn that. So having like a faster vacuum speed doesn't actually help you out as much as you think it should, just because it takes some time for them to respawn. Let's go use a glitchy or ghostly boss gum. I think we've done enough like random without using boss gums that we should be able to actually get up to exactly 250 before this before I run out of boss gum, which will be super helpful. 26 ghosts, probably like 5. Okay, there's them. I'll grab these 3. Yeah, not using glitchy vacuum gum kind of makes me this weak link in this grind, but you know, I'm fine with that. They don't mind. But yeah, no, grinding gum I think is even more overpowered than rebirths. But like for rebirths, what should you pick? I know a lot of people have already covered this and know to ask, but like to get the most out of your rebirths, you want to start with Master Hunter so that you can rebirth faster subsequently. Like, you save like an hour or something on each rebirth if you pick Master Hunter. Since you skip Finsley, you get that perk early, really, and it's just overall useful. And then after that, you kind of just want to pick the other permanent ones, like Ghostly Vision and Lucky Eyes. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Most people usually understand, I want to go for permanent ones, and then you want to go for infinite ones. It's pretty much common sense for that, but yeah. One of the things I really hope Ghost Similar adds like soon, other than like a nerf to gum, because I think gum's a little overpowered, At least combined when it is combined with the double drops Game Pass. It might be fine on its own. But like when combined with the double drops Game Pass, Gum gets overpowered. But like one of the big things I want to see is like a use for like some of the useless things in Ghost Simulator currently. Like there's like 5 or 6 useless items in Ghost Simulator that I really think need a buff soon. The key ones are like infinite quests. I really feel like those should do something more than what they do right now, which right now they give you no gems basically. Like I think the best one gives you like, I think it's like 100,000 gems for a cycle or something like that. It's like, that's not even enough for like a crate or anything like that, which is bad. But like if they gave you like a permanent buff to like how much currency you get per each world or something like that, that would be cool. They could also like increase your storage amount, which would be really nice because right now players are kind of running out of storage if you play for a long time. Like I currently have all but one of the Game Passes for storage. I'm an alt with the 500 Game Pass filled to the brim. I'm pretty much maxed on storage. So more storage would be cool if they came from like Infinite Quest, like they gave you like, one of them gave you like 1 additional board or 5 additional board storage per quest, and one gave you like 5 additional pet storage per quest. That would be really cool. Give players something new to grind. But also like gem drops from Ghosts. Currently gem drops from Ghosts are useless. Just because you need so many gems to unbox for like classifieds. And even if you're like going for like less gems, you're like, oh, I want a Godly. Godlies in Ghost Simulator currently are worthless. The Godly stats are worse than current codes for any available Godly pets. So maybe buffing like Godlies through that or nerfing codes or something make them useful. But I feel like gem drops just need to be like buffed a lot for from Ghosts, because right now when you get a gem drop from a Ghost, it's basically like getting nothing. Because you know it won't go anywhere. Like you can unbox like what, maybe like 1 crate, which gives you like 1 common. It's bad. But yeah, I feel like that's what Ghost Simulator really should do, is focus on some of those useless things and then make them useful. Before adding so much more new content, but you know, new content's also cool. Maybe. We might be able to get a boss come in during this wave. If and only if I be annoying and don't do anything, really. Which is not ideal, I guess. I should probably be helping out a little bit. Yeah, there's no way. We're just going to do another one without boss gum. It's so hard to remember to use the boss gum. Yeah, like even if you can get a Godly, they aren't worth much too. It's like this kind of thing where it's like hard to get the gems. Or I don't know. It's just kind of weird. How many egg keys do I have? I am now up to like 230 or 216. Okay. Not as much as I was expecting. But yeah. Goal is to get up to 250 and grab the board. This board. I was really hoping for a snail, but, you know, looks like we aren't going to be able to get that. I am so glad that the summer's coming soon. I know a lot of people like school is kind of like 1 or 2 weeks or months, 1 month to like 2 weeks to it's like 2 weeks out. Yeah, school's almost over for most people at this point. So I'm really excited for that because the end of this year was kind of really bad. I felt super unproductive, and even when I was doing stuff that was productive, it was bad. So hopefully when like school gets out, that I might be able to make more content regularly, or I don't know, figure out some stuff. But yeah, I'm super glad that the school is almost over. I cannot imagine being in school for so much too much longer than this. But yeah. When are you guys getting out? I think I'm getting out like the 18th or something. I think is my last day of school. I think maybe the 16th. I don't know. But it's like in 2 weeks, which is really, really exciting because you know, that one of those weeks is basically finals, which are going to be pretty easy. In my opinion, I like finals. They're short, they're easy. You just have to do one simple thing. It's not like assignments or anything like that. But yeah. You might get out on my birthday. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm in college, so like technically our last day of school might not be the day like I have my last class, just because I only have like Tuesdays and Thursdays as class. So when I get out would be like the Thursday I last have class, or it might be like the last day that any of my school has classes, or could be like when my last assignment's due. You can consider any of like those. So I have like a range of getting out of school, I guess, where it's like not like one day where I finally don't do anything. Like same thing like really with high school. Like eventually you're like, okay, last day of school is like this day, but you really aren't doing anything for like the week before that either. So like that last day of school isn't really super helpful either. But yeah. Oh, 27th of May. Yeah, it's interesting hearing like people that get out that soon. It's like, wow, okay, that sounds weird. I'm used to like mid-June is usually when schools around my area get out, which I don't know. It does feel a little late, but it also it's like I don't know where else they would put that time. But yeah. One of the big things like this quarter I still need to do is like I've been kind of lazy on some of my assignments, so I think I'm doing fine passing and stuff, but it's been a quarter and a half really. There we go. We should be able to use a Boscom this time since I managed to not forget. Right. Grab these two and use a Ghostly Boscom. of the things though about Ghost Simulator that's actually nice is that even though I kind of say I wish there was more ways to grind, there are still actually a few ways for people to be able to like grind the game. Like you have bosses that you can grind, like either mega bosses, you have normal bosses that you can grind for like currency, or some of the bags are useful. You can grind for Gum, which is probably the big one that a lot of people do, and I would really recommend and say is the best. But like, it's still another option. You can Rebirth. You can actually Rebirth grind too. So like, there's like 4 solid ways you can actually grind in Ghost Simulator, which is kind of nice. What's going on with this trade request box? That's weird. Is that... that fix it? No. Yeah, okay. I have no idea what's going on with that trade request box. I don't know why the dimensions of it are, like, minuscule, but whatever. Look at this. It's not even... Why is it that weird? Okay, whatever. Do people recognize you when you get more rebirths over time and have good things? I'm assuming you mean like recognition in game. Like, is it more like, is it like a status symbol? I mean, I think just playing more often and being involved in the community is really what makes people recognize. Like, for instance, all right, maybe not a good example, but like there's a lot of moderators and stuff that people recognize that don't really play the game too much. Even though they are like moderators and stuff. Like same thing with like, so I think a bigger thing is just being like involved in the community, like not just sticking to like private servers necessarily, so you can like just like kind of like going in public servers to grind, saying hi to people, being in their Discord can help like get recognized more, but I don't know. Honestly, it's just kind of one of those things where it just happens. You don't necessarily need good stuff, but like playing more does help. Having more rebirths does help because that makes you stand out a little bit more. But yeah. Nope, not needed. Where's that ghost? There we go, grab those 2, and then we save up an overcharge and overcharge over here. Yeah, but a big thing about like any game really is kind of just playing, to be honest. Being nice, people like, I always do that. I always forget and accidentally use a glitchy loot gum. That's like the 4th time or something that's happened when I just won't have time to be able to use a boss gum. Are the Black Sweat HQ class fights easy to get? They aren't easy to get. They're more of like dependent. They're super dependent on like RNG and stuff. Like people have opened thousands and haven't got one. Like I know I have from like 1,200 or so and I haven't got any. I know there's people that have gone like 3,000 without any. But like the thing is, since it is RNG, you can get it in like your first like 5. I would say they're probably the easiest, like, for how much stats they are, they're easy to get. But they still aren't like easy to get. You still need to put in like 10 or so, like 20 hours or so for a decent chance at them. But like they're not difficult to get either. Like there's a lot of people that have just like randomly got them just because, you know, they aren't that bad of a chance. I just realized that the amount of ghosts that, I just realized how the amount of ghosts works. Like, kind of the amount of ghosts for players is kind of it felt random to me. Like, you add more players and you add, like, what, this random amount of ghosts to the thing. I just realized that, there's two types of ghosts in the area that attack you. There is, ones that attack the eggs and then ones that attack the players. I think that there's always the same amount of ghosts that attack the eggs, no matter how many players there are, which makes sense, but like the amount of ghosts that attack the players is based off the amount of players. I just realized that's probably how the math for those ghosts works. I was kind of confused on why that was, because on the wiki, for their, I noticed someone had put numbers for the event, and it was like really weird scaling. Like it wasn't like quite doubling for how many players, but it was also being like very weird for how many like ghost spawns per like the addition of players. I just realized that's probably how it was. Like for 5 to 6 players, wave 1, 22 ghosts, 7. That number's off. I feel like that number's off. I think that's supposed to be like 36. But yeah, if we do that, no, it still doesn't quite add up correctly, but it gives me a better idea of what's going on with those numbers. There's a set amount, and then I'm trying to figure out now the math for like how many ghosts spawn. Oh boy, we're down a rabbit hole. Yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of confusing how much ghosts spawn. But yeah. I mean, I bet I could figure out like the formula if I spent a little bit of time with like my alt on, messing around with how many ghosts spawn and stuff, how many of each type. Ooh, that sounds actually interesting. I should definitely do that before the event ends to add that information to the wiki. No, it's not right to like knowingly take someone to give less value than what something's worth by that much. Which is kind of why like trade. It gets weird. Okay, I might need to figure out this math myself, because numbers from other people, I have to spend some time trying to figure out whether they're like legitimate or not, or like they're just like, because it's super easy to mistake values. I know I accidentally put some wrong values, and so double checking what you think is correct is sometimes needed. But yeah, adding 2 per wave per player doesn't. Yeah, that's still quite a bit weirder than I was expecting. Yeah, I think with like, I don't quite have enough alts. Am I from Florida? No, I'm from, I live in Washington State, which is weird. Its weather is weird. Right now it's like an 80-degree day. Like 2 days ago it was like raining like nonstop. Hello, Alpha. Yeah, sometimes the math in Ghost Simulator is just weird and isn't worth trying to figure out, but like, sometimes the math in games is really fun to figure out. And sometimes it's really nice to know it, because sometimes people ask... I used a glitchy loot gum again. Sometimes people ask, like, questions about like, the math of the game, and trying to explain it to them can be, like, super complicated if you don't know it. So, knowing the math can be helpful. It explains some of the things that go on. For instance, like, stats. Stats are actually, like, one less than what they appear to be. Just because, like, they added one stats, because if you have your stats starting at, like, 0.01, it's kind of meh. But, it is what it is. It makes like the stat, like, progression. You have to, like, subtract one to the stats and then add it back again once to, like, for when a pet levels up, because that's how leveling works. It adjusts the base stats, not like the current stats. So it looks like leveling is just weird sometimes, because you're like, oh, this pet gains like 25% stats and this pet gains like 22%. And it's really just because there is a difference in, like, the you aren't looking at, like, the true stats of a pet, really. Anyways, we are up to, like, 226 Easter keys now. Which is exactly correct if we manage to use all of our last few boss gums, because this is 20, each of these is 4, so 4 times 5 is 20 from there, and this is 6, so it would be exactly 2 additional keys. Having a few extra keys isn't too bad. But yeah. Do you know a good way of grinding gems? The best 2 ways to grind, depending on how many gems you need. If you only need, like, 10 million or so gems, just, like, playing through the game and doing all the quests in the Void, Agent Blaze, and all those quests will give you enough gems to get, like, 10 to 12 million gems, I think. Maybe a little bit less. But really, that should be enough for a decent amount of stuff for a new player. But if you're looking for, like, a billion or like 100 million gems to a billion gems to like 10 billion gems, there's really only 2 ways to do that. One is to spam into Ectobit rebirths after you've done a few. This would be like getting good pets on your first, doing my traditional rebirth where you need to get like gum and good pets before rebirthing, and then like going through and just spamming out like 17, getting all the permanent perks and spamming out like 17 Ectobit rebirth tycoons, which takes about like 6 hours per, maybe a little bit more depending, 6 to 8 hours per, and then grinding backdoor with X-Gum is one way to get good gems. That'll get you basically however many gems you need, whenever you want it. Gems on demand, basically. The other way to get gems is that I would really use would be to get a glitchy rift gum, which can be quite hard to get sometimes. You need to grind a lot of glitchy gum to have a chance at, and then basically go and also get like 1,500 anonymous loot bags or other good loot bags, and then use that rift gum and the glitchy loot bags at the same time. What would be worth a corrupted pet or board? In general, I say those things are pretty much worthless. They actually are worth a decent amount, but like the thing is, there's nothing like really that people that usually have a lot and are willing to trade them usually are also willing to just give them out for free if a player is like long enough time player or something. Like I've given out quite a bit of dev heads or dev boards myself, but yeah. In general, if you are trying to trade for them, you might be able to, like, if you have like a random godly from this event, be able to trade that godly for them, just because someone might need that godly. But yeah, honestly, there's like stat wise, it's super easy to get, so people usually don't expect much from it. And then just because like anything they do trade it for, it's like, what am I going to do with this? People just usually just don't trade them. I do have a video all about grinding gems if you want to go watch it. That will probably be more helpful than the little bit of information I have right now. But also, you can also ask in like the Discord. Depending on how many gems you need, you probably want to include that, because grinding 10,000 gems is much different than grinding 10 million gems, which is so much more different than grinding 10 billion gems. And all of those are legitimate amount of gems to be grinding for, depending on what your needs are in Ghost Simulator. With 50 anonymous loot bags, would you... I wouldn't say it's likely for you to get a mini anonymous with 50 loot bags. I think you need more like 100 or so before you're like really have a likely chance. But the thing is, with RNG, you can get it in your first bag, or you can get it in your 1,000th bag. RNG can be horrible, like absolutely horrible to players. So 50 is definitely a decent start. The thing about anonymous bags is you can trade it for like lucky loot bags or dino loot bags and actually get a much more bags for that way. Like you can trade like 50 anonymous bags for like 100 or so dino bags pretty easily, just because dino bags is useless other than the stats that you can get. So that might be a good thing to think about. Same thing with like lucky loot bag. You might be able to trade 50 anonymous loot bags for 100 or so lucky loot bags and just have a better chance at getting good stats that way. Yeah, just because anonymous loot bags can be used for gems, whereas dino loot bags and lucky loot bags can only be used for those stats and other things in them. Alright, we are now down to 5 more basic loot gums, or boss gums, and we also have 54,000 eggs, which is not much. Honestly, I don't think you actually get that many eggs from this event, which is kind of annoying. Usually, like last Christmas event, you got like hundreds of thousands of eggs, like instant, or whatever they had, instantly. Alright, who in the world's trying to trade us? This person. Yeah, you know what? They can have free stuff. Yeah, I don't think anyone really ever uses the voice chat feature. I don't... Okay, they can... Alright, we'll throw some of this random stuff at them. I mean, we will just kind of end up deleting the pipe. Nope, nope. Yeah, honestly, there's not really any harm to having voice chat in a game, but like no one really uses it, so there's not really too much of a point to have it either. I mean, I never will use a voice chat in game. I don't really think about voice chat too much. I'm not a fan. I'm bad at conversations with people. I do not know how to respond to social interaction. Can you join my server? I am in a public server, so in theory you can join my server. It's just finding it might be a little bit difficult. Alright, we just had a whole spawn that I didn't do anything on. Alright, we'll grab these 3 ghosts and call it day, because, you know, everyone else is being so good, and everyone else is, like, there's actually a lot of good people in the server with me, so that's kind of nice. But yeah. There we go. Have you tried getting classified board before? I've actually gotten 4 classified boards. I have gotten... Classified boards are actually pretty easy to get. I have Glitchit and Varus in my inventory still, and I actually got rid of, or traded, rather, I should say. It wasn't like I just deleted them. A Feather Shock and a Sky Server from the 1 and 2 boards. So I've actually gotten a fair share of classified boards. Honestly, Glitchit and Varus I got really lucky with when I was meeting around someone else going for classifieds. Like someone else I know was going for classified like boards. And I kind of just went in there to use Lucky Gum and memed around a little bit by opening a lot of Godlies and accidentally got Varus on one occasion. And then on another occasion, same person, I managed to get the Glowjet too. It was kind of insane. So yeah, it was really lucky with those. But yeah, I have gotten some boards. I have Zing. I kind of want some more classified pets. Like a Cosmic Wing or 2. But the thing is, that takes a lot of gems, and even though I have a decent amount of gems, there is no way I can get like the 10 or so billion gems I need for a Cosmic Wing as is right now. I need to do a few more rebirths or other, like get a Rift Gum before I can get them. Which actually I might have it. If I can get a glitchy Rift Gum, I would actually be pretty set on getting some stuff I need. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead and use our basic Boss Gum. Really, Boss Gum is the only thing I would say is useful in something other than glitchy. Anything other than glitchy loot gum, any loot gum other than glitchy loot gum is useless. Same thing with basically every other type of gum, just because it's so easy to get glitchy loot gum. So really the only thing it is worthwhile to use that isn't glitchy is going to be basic, or any boss gums, just because like boss gums actually kind of rare. So players don't actually have too much glitchy boss gum just lying around very often. What does Rift Gum do? It multiplies the gems you get similar to Gem Gum, by like a multiplier of 155. So if you know how times 155 works, I think you can see how like opening loot bags that give you normally like 10,000 or 15,000 gems or something like that can all of a sudden start giving you like millions or billions of gems really quickly. But yeah, that's what Rift Gum does. It's kind of hard to get. It is a classified gum, so you need to like actually it's quite rare. But since you only really need it with like 1,000 or so anonymous loot bags, it takes time to get the other stuff. So it isn't like it being rare is actually too big of a limiting factor, since you can kind of just grind anonymous loot bags or whatnot. Since you do need to grind like 10 hours for the other stuff that you need, having like a 10-hour grind for that doesn't hurt too much. For anyone interested in getting a classified, I would recommend trying to go for like a Feather Shock first. That's going to be Board Crate 1. Boards are generally easier to get since they have a higher chance, and they cost a little bit more, but they aren't too significantly more cost worthy. And so basically, once you like get your first rebirth and you max it out, you should have like 10 or so million gems, which should be a decent shot at getting classified. And just like, if you guys like getting that classified, then like getting first classified can kind of show you how getting other classifieds will work. Just so you kind of have a general idea of what you need and how much time it takes to get a classified can be kind of helpful for figuring out what you need. All right, we're going to take a small water break. But yeah. Also, how about the stream being at 20 FPS? I know like 60 FPS is usually what people expect from like games, but like I feel like turning it down to 20 FPS is kind of helping quite a bit on the stream itself. Also, elevating my PC just a little bit, like the back end of it, to allow a little bit more airspace between like the table and my laptop actually really is helping. I don't think I've lagged since I did that. Easiest way to get mythicals. I'm assuming... Are you talking about, which mythicals are you talking about? These or these? Because honestly, they're pretty similar to get, but the easiest way would be to grind lucky cats. Yeah, Roblox is not too... I had to talk about the lag on Ghost Simulator, and all of a sudden decides, no, I'm going to be a problem. Anyways, the easiest way to do would actually be to grind for lucky cats using overcharge. I have a video on how to do it. It's titled like how to get good pets or something like that on my channel. But basically you overcharge in the locations where a lucky cat is. And you can get like lucky cat loot bags before you rebirth. And you need like respawns like every little bit, like a minute every 10 seconds or so. And overcharge is like every minute or so anyways. So you can get like really easily just be able to like spam through overcharge. It's kind of cheesy, but it's a pretty good strategy to get lucky cats. And you need like 100 or so loot bags before like a lucky cat. So you need to spend like 2 hours or so per like a lucky cat, which is exactly this in stats. Or if you like max stats, I don't think I have any max stats of it, but like it's really good stats. That'd be like the fastest way to get good stats or mythicals and stuff that I know of. So yeah. Stream looks smooth. Thank you. I'm glad that it's actually the 20 FPS isn't making it like unwatchable. I figured with Roblox only playing at like 10 FPS every single time. I accidentally pressed T. But anyways, with my Roblox only going at like 10 FPS anyways, it won't hurt too much to have a slightly lower stream FPS, because, you know. But yeah. Got it, looks good. Let's see. Yes, there is a questline, Ghost Hunter Leo, in the, Ghost World. He gives you heavy armor, which prevents basically everything from knocking you over. It's super helpful. I mean, you still get knocked over by like bosses and stuff, but like, or like mega bosses, but like you get less knockback, and ghosts don't affect you. Mega bosses, mini bosses don't affect you. Normal bosses don't. It's one of the best perks to have. It does take a little bit of time to get, but like it's super useful. Yeah, he is one of the people that I would definitely recommend new players to do, since he does give you kind of a good introduction and a step up for doing Ghost World quests. And also gives a really good perk. Like having heavy armor is like super good. Same thing with like a few other perks, like magnetism's pretty good too. But like, man, it's definitely some of those perks. It's hard. Players don't quite understand how to get it. It makes sense. It is game's kind of confusing for how to get some stuff, but yeah. All right. 60,000. I don't think 60,000 eggs is even. I should have enough eggs. I think I should have enough eggs for getting the pet and board I'm missing from the egg crates, but I don't know. I might be short. But let's see. How many keys am I up to? 238. So I need to use 3 more basic boss gums. So that's not too bad. They, not necessarily. There are some examples of this, but like in general, like it's just kind of their group kind of based off where they come and play. Like for instance, Shelly or Luna and Leo are next to each other, just kind of their agents of Luna. Mainly, same thing with like Riley is. Who's Riley next to? Riley and Gabe are next to each other, kind of because they're kind of these meta NPCs that are kind of forgotten about ish. They're kind of grouped based on what there can be like family or sibling connections, but like not necessarily. Doesn't mean they are. But yeah, it is definitely, there are some connections based on how they're grouped. Yeah, Leo's not the worst. As long as if you've done Shelly, you've kind of seen probably the worst quest line. I think most people agree that Shelly is the worst. Where did I put her on my worst NPC tier list? I think she was like 4th or something. She wasn't even actually that bad. Just because there are like worse quest lines out there. Like infinite quest lines that players skip, and like the pets and boards unboxing. I'm doing the defense with you. Oh yeah, defense is bad if you're laggy. If you're laggy, this defense is horrible. If you aren't like haven't like got enough of the perks, it can also be kind of annoying. Like I know having like multiple streams, faster hoverboard, there's a lot of good perks that you can have that really help, and new players usually don't have those, don't know how to get them, and just end up struggling a lot with like events. Alright. You know what, it actually didn't hurt me not using that last boss gum, because like we would have been 2 keys over. Now we can just use 1 less basic boss gum and get the exact amount of keys we need. There is no way I'm grinding another 100 keys for a slug. Or snail. I really wanted a snail, but yeah. 3 hours. Yeah, lag is a nuisance, but soloing isn't actually too difficult in Ghost Simulator if you know how to play, which it's really nice when you can solo. I love being able to solo different events because it makes it so much easier to just go in a server with yourself, not need to worry about people slowing you down or being annoying or just AFKing or something. But yeah, no, I enjoy soloing, so, but it's very nice when you can manage to solo even through lag and stuff. Yeah, someone was mentioning to me in real life about having like a fan base for my my laptop, and I'm thinking that actually might be a really good idea, since just elevating a little bit to give a little bit of airflow underneath the PC has really helped. Like I'm not doing too great on FPS, but there haven't been that many lag spikes. It isn't like every other minute or so I'm getting a lag spike. It's more like every like egg defense or so. So maybe if I get like a fan or something to like give a little bit more circulation underneath my computer, that might help a little bit, or a lot of it. That might be in the next upgrade I go to, since you know I'm in that mood of upgrade my YouTube setup. I think the new camera setup is. I think the feedback from that's been amazing. So, well, that's definitely an improvement. Going from a whatever in the world my computer gives me to this new one. Let's see. What do we need to do now? Oh, I need to go use a Boscom. I knew there was something I needed to do. I just didn't know what it was exactly. There's a lot of things like that where I kind of just feel like I'm missing something, but I literally have no clue what I'm missing. And sometimes it's just a feeling that okay, please tell me I'm not the only one that's like had a constant feeling that I'm missing something for like the last year. I've had this weird feeling every time like I leave the house or something that I'm just missing something. It's like, okay, I have my phone, I have my wallet, I have my keys for the car. I'm never really missing anything, and I'm like, I just feel like I am. It's constant or something. Yeah, it's weird. All right, we have 242 keys. We need 8 more keys. And then we can go get this board, which is all I really want. Do I say goodbye to your pet? No. I don't really say... Thing is, I don't really talk to my... Okay, I talk to my pets a lot. But, like, I don't really, like, say hi or bye to people too much. I don't know. I never really do that too much. Like, I was walking my dog earlier this week, and came across my neighbor walking out. They said hi to me. I kept calling my dog because my dog was kind of just walking up to them. I'm so antisocial when it comes to, like, greetings or social interaction. It's bad. I'm like, afterwards I'm like, I really should have just said hello to them. That's how social interactions work. Alright. Ooh, that was a good overcharge. That was a really good overcharge. Like, it's not really that I'm an introvert. I just don't like talking to people, I guess. Which I guess is kind of the definition of an introvert. I don't know. You know. It's weird. I wouldn't label myself an introvert because, you know, I am fine talking to people. I just don't want to. That's an introvert. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think also a lot of people are like that anyways, because like social interaction's kind of less nowadays. I don't know. I think it's just kind of a general thing that a lot of people have at this point, is not society very well. Honestly, I don't get out of my house a lot, so I don't like go places too much. Although, like, there are a lot of, like, good hikes and stuff in mountains and areas. Like, a lot of good mountains to hike. I'm not really much of a hiker. I don't find that very entertaining, but, yeah, it's cool for those who like it. Alright, how many more do we need? I need to remember to use a boss gum and not use a loot gum. Actually, I might just use a loot gum right now because we'll have enough time. Just so I don't forget later or accidentally use a loot gum. Favorite place I've traveled outside of my country. Honestly, I've only gone to Canada. I haven't really gone anywhere, like, farther away than, like, right next door to Washington. And, like, road trips are usually what my family does, like, for summer vacations and stuff. So, usually I haven't really gone out of the country much. So, it would have to just be Canada, just because that's the only place I've been outside of, United States. Outside of my state, like, other area, like, we've gone to a lot of national parks or something. I think I really liked how, like, Yosemite. Yeah, Yosemite. I know that's, like, a big one that a lot of people go to. Like, similar to, like, Yellowstone and stuff, but, like, all those mountains and stuff is insane how much wilderness or natural landscapes there. Get an overcharge ready, overcharge over here. Nah, too late. There we go. Do I ever play Royal High? No, I'm not really into like role-playing types of games where you talk with other people and stuff like that, or I don't know, it's just not my thing to like follow a role in games. I kind of play games for fun, not like the social interaction part of it, which I know a lot of people do play, like Royal High and what other common Adopt Me, I think. I'm not really into those types of games. I'm more into like games like this where you kind of play for a currency, you play the game for not like you play the game itself, you aren't like playing with other people. Yeah, I think the big thing is I don't really like playing with other people, I guess. I don't like that as a requirement of games. I prefer like playing by myself on games for playing the game itself. I have, like, the main areas I've been in the United States are going to be around Washington. As I said, I've been on, like, a plane, like, twice in my life or something. One time was, like, a school trip to Washington, D.C., so that's probably the farthest away I've been, was a plane over there. Visited, like, D.C., I don't know if we went to New York. I don't really remember too much of it. But that would have to be the furthest away I've been. But like, it's mainly been around me, like Washington, and as far as like 1, 2, 3 states maybe over. I haven't gone like, it's usually driving distance where it's like a day or two to drive, which, you know, is a while. Like you can drive across, it's like 2 days will get you quite a ways driving. But still, it's not been like super far into like the eastern states of, like, just because it's the farther out, it's less likely for us to go that far. Yeah, honestly, sometimes playing games that your friends like can be kind of interesting. Like, you can find back a game that you used to play or something like that. Can be fun. I think one of the games I'm currently playing quite a bit of is a phone game. Defenders of Texel. It's kind of a remake of Defenders of Texel Online is like the full name. It's kind of a remake of an old discontinued game. But like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of wish other people played it with me, because it is kind of a small game, and so knowing people in it would be kind of interesting. But yeah. Oh, it's fine. I would much prefer people to actually be productive in real life than like watching my streams or videos or stuff, because I know YouTube can be a giant rabbit hole. But if you're like watching here for fun or you have nothing better to do, it's also like, you guys have your own lives. Like, you guys don't need to worry too much about what I'm doing. I don't worry too much about what you guys are doing. I usually make these contents, videos and stuff, more because I want to, rather than because you guys want me to, or anything like that. I think we have enough time for a boot gum. But yeah, it's one of those things that I don't particularly care whether or not you guys are in the stream or not. Especially like with streams, it's more of I'm doing streams to usually get my own work done than to like make content for YouTube. Like usually it's making content for YouTube's big bonus of the stream itself. Yeah, I know sometimes you get into that really unproductive where all you do is watch YouTube for like an hour or two, and you can't really think of anything better to do, and you know what, I sometimes fall into that too, and it's fine usually. It's sometimes it's nice to just be able to relax for a little bit. Honestly, like there's usually nothing better to do once you get out of school for the summer. You're like, oh, do I want to go play outside? Nah. So all you're doing really is watching YouTube or playing video games. Which isn't bad. It's kind of fun. I'm actually quite a fan of playing video games for being productive. I usually consider playing video games productive, just because, you know, I like it. It's fun. I do something on a game I enjoy. All right, we will be cutting it a little. Never mind. We won't be cutting it too close with our loot gun. But yeah, this is the last fight I need, and I'll have 250 keys, and we'll be able to grab that mythical. Hopefully we also have enough eggs here to get both the godlies we need from the pet and board crate. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Those things can be ridiculously troublesome when they come to unboxing or not, just because of how RNG works. Alright, we'll use this now because our loot gun wore off. And get ready to overcharge. Nope, never mind. Ghosts are too separated for an overcharge to be effective. There we go. There we go. I'm stuck in school still. Yeah, school's weird. It's kind of interesting how some end like instantly and others don't. Alright, and with that, that is all the event things I am planning on doing. If you see, we have 250 keys, which is exactly the amount I need for a Peaky hoverboard. So we'll go ahead and be grabbing that. But I think before that, I want to go ahead and use these Easter eggs that I have. I need to go equip some glitchy Lucky Gum because we have way too much of that. But yeah, we will be needing to do that. I guess we do have about 60 seconds left on our glitchy, or on our, I always say glitchy gum, but on our boss gum, so yeah. Ooh, I've already redeemed the code artsy. But thank you for that tip on the last day. I don't have Discord open at the moment, so I'm kind of missing those. So there we go. You do get a cool little board. That actually looks really cool. So if you guys haven't yet, you guys can enter that. Usually stuff like that's given on their Discord, so if you are interested in getting updates for codes and stuff, you usually can join there. But yeah, hello Panini. But yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and grab this board first. I want the board because like the pet's going to be worthless stat-wise, and I don't really particularly care too much about pets. So board's going to be worth more. It's also much easier to use. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and grab that. Now we're going to go find it in our inventory, which is going to take a little bit of time because I have a lot of other random mythicals. But there we go. We got a mythical. Magnificent Peaky Carriage. That's a really long name. Oh, they said it in chat? Okay, that's cool. But yeah, look at this. It's kind of an interesting pet. I really like how it has like a peacock. It just seems so random for a spring event. But yeah, it's kind of cool. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite. I think I probably would have much preferred getting like a snail, but there's no way I have enough time to get a snail. So we're going to stick with getting this because it's going to be similar cool. And just going to be kind of fun to have. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to do is going to be go ahead and use these eggs. So we'll go ahead and use our glitchy Lucky Gum and hopefully start with here because, you know, as I said, I care more about boards than I do pets. And there we go. That was lit. Our third crate. RNG does the weirdest things sometimes. Sometimes I just don't understand what's even going on. I need this one. But yeah, like RNG, you can get stuff instantly, or you can just never get it. Just, RNG can be whack sometimes. Anyways, for this one, we have like a 2.42% chance. And we have about 120 crates. Alright, so we have a decent chance at getting this. But like, yeah, we'll probably get it and have around 30k eggs left, I'd guess. So we'll see. But yeah, we are getting a whole lot of these random stuff. So the percentages are not accurate. Well, the percentages are accurate. It's just random numbers, like the RNG, what you actually get can be so weird. Like, you can just, like, even though it is like, oh, you have a 50% chance, or a 6% chance of getting this godly. You can open like 3,000 crates and not get it. Just because, I'm just saying RNG in general is just bad. RNG is RNG. But, like, you can, I know most people understand that, but is, like, I don't think people quite understand how bad sometimes RNG is. But yeah, it looks like we did manage to get the godly. I think we have everything from here. Let's go check our inventory or our journal really quick, I guess. Check our pets. So this first common set, uncommon, rare, legendary, godly. Okay, so we do have everything from the first thing, and it looks like we do have everything from the second too. So that's good. And I think there's no way we don't have everything from the boards, just since there are a few less boards. The percentages are accurate. I'm not really. I get why I think I said that, and I realized I was being confusing. Man, how do I explain this better? Oh, okay, you guys probably understand what I meant. We're just gonna move on. Here we have all the commons. Okay, we got those. And we got those. Okay. We do have now everything from the event. Go ahead and lock those new godlies that I just got. Which I don't remember the names, but... Oh, one was a blueberry whale. What does this look like? Alright, I have my pets disabled. I'm assuming it doesn't look too bad. It's interesting. It's not really worth it stat-wise, because, you know, that's the same stats as, most code pets. Actually, that's not a good example of a code pet. It's also not a good example of a code pet. There's a code pet. But yeah, that's that one, and then the other one, same stats. Alright, that's not my favorite pet in the game. The other one was better, I think. But yeah. And then the hoverboards were, I think the godly hoverboards were, I don't know. I feel like this one looks like too much of a mess. Wait, what? Oh, that is a horrible angle. Okay, I thought this thing would be like higher. I thought this was like the straight on view. So I thought this would be like this tall. But yeah, I guess this makes more sense. But yeah, nah, I don't think that one's my favorite. And then the other one that I just got was the, yeah, I'm not going to find this, am I? That was the new code pet. Bubbles. This one I thought looked really cool. I'm assuming you're standing inside the bubble. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. But yeah, those are the new stuff. We have 50,000 Easter eggs left. There's not really any reason to convert them, because it's ghostly gum, so that's like pretty much worthless. But yeah. Also, I don't feel like opening anything else, so I think that'll be it for this event. Yeah, I think that is it for this event. At least all I want to do. I feel like this event was kind of a bit more annoying it was too slow in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to do this stream. How long has it been? It's been about 2.5 hours, I think, correct? Yeah, okay. We've been about 2.5 hours. So it took about, I was expecting it to be about a 2-hour stream. I think we'll go ahead and convert like a few of these, because there you go. Yeah, if you don't know, you can select in there and then type, which can be useful. I think we'll convert a few of these, just because, like, I think there is some... Is there any special gums? Actually, there aren't any special gums. Actually, no, there's some bow gums that we can get from this. So, we'll probably insert a few just to get some... That's a lot of bow gums. Just to get a few bow gums, I guess. But yeah, I think we'll want to save a few gums or a few eggs anyways. Just because. But yeah. That was a lot of eggs. But yeah, that was all I was planning on this stream, but I think I have a little bit more time to do something else. So I need to think. How much more Ghostly Boss Gum did I get? I think I got like 1 or 2. 2. Alright, that's not going to be anything significant. Is there anything you guys would like to see this stream for me to do? Like more event stuff just because, or anything like that, or like grinding gum maybe, grinding bosses in main hub. Just wondering. Minecraft. Nah, I don't know no one really watches my Minecraft stuff, so that's not really a good option. Ooh, I could show you guys something cool. If you guys don't know, like all the maps in Ghost Simulator are really wacky. Where's my board that I want to equip? Just because. All right. There we go. There's my normal board. Anyways, all of like the areas in Ghost Simulator are really wacky. And one of the big things is they all have like holes in them where you can kind of just get out. So if you have like the all you need is like the jetpack, which you get from Riley, and good FPS, and you can kind of just jump out of the map. Right here, you see how this area, this is a little bit shorter than the other ones. There's a little bit of gap between that and the ceiling, and you can actually kind of just get out. You need decent FPS, which I am not getting right now, to actually get up there, because, you know, it's quite laggy, but there you go. Once you get up there, you can just kind of walk out of the map, and if you have the jetpack, you kind of can just fly forever, which is kind of cool. Another thing is that I find really weird is when you're outside of like maps and stuff, you have a lot less lag. Like right now, you notice I'm getting pretty consistent, like 40 to 50 FPS, whereas before I was getting like single digits. So that's kind of weird. Also, you can kind of come over here to this the Easter egg defense area. You can't actually get into it, unfortunately, but you can kind of get a look at the outside of it, which is kind of cool. You can do this in basically all areas in Ghost Simulator, but it is one of the things I like to look for in like events and stuff. I don't think there's any way to get onto the map on the Metaverse event, though. I think that's been the only one, though, so far that I haven't found a way to get on of. And even that was mainly just because I didn't look. Yeah, usually they just have these random holes sitting around, though, that you can use. Yeah, you can't actually get into this arena, I don't think. I've been trying for a while, which is kind of unfortunate. I kind of wanted one of these days to be able to get into one of these things, and just see what it breaks and whatnot. But yeah. If you guys didn't know, you guys can get like out of different areas with the jetpack. That's kind of why I think it's a really cool perk. But yeah, since we are kind of just doing on random stuff now, I think it's about time to end the stream. It doesn't look like anyone else has really anything else really to they want to see me do this stream. I don't really have too much else I want to do. I'm kind of done with the event at this point. Managed to get the cool mythical at least. I was hoping for a snail, but didn't quite have enough for boss gums or dedication really for that. So, anyways, with that said, thank you guys for watching the stream. It was quite fun. I like that I got to test out the new webcam. That's really nice. Does look like someone wanted me to do some gum grinding. It's not always the funnest to do on stream. It's a little bit late, and so, but with that, I will see you guys whenever I do my next video.